Very good morning, friends. Now I am to tell the topic that is RMS Titanic. And going to the Titanic, first I want to tell about, do you have a question in your minds? I think so. That why it is named as Titanic? What's nothing? We can place like Sudha or something names. But when it is placed as Titanic, I think do you have any questions in your minds? Okay then, I will give you an answer. Titanic is nothing but, in Greek, Titanic is named as gigantic. In its name itself, it's giving you the meaning. Gigantic means it's very big and large. So this meaning is given to the Titanic, so it's named as Titanic. And on the top there is RMS, and the full form of RMS is it is a Royal Mail Steamer. Of course, it's a steamer because it runs on steam engine. So it's Royal Mail Steamer. And going to the next slide. As I said, that it's the world's largest ship and it's the world's largest moving object in the world. So I want to tell about how large the ship is. It is 882 feet long. That we can imagine that how many members can settle in that. And going to the next slide. Here I want to give you the little information, that is a introduction about Titanic. And Titanic was the biggest ship made at the time when it was serviced. When it was serviced means it was going to be constructed, it was only the biggest ship. And Titanic collided with an iceberg on April 14, 1912 at 11:15 p.m. It is mid of night, so we can say that how destruction was created and how terrible it was. And it sank 2 hours 40 minutes later in 12:30 in the morning. It takes 2 hours 40 minutes, just in 2 hours of time. That means exactly 160 minutes. So it's a really terrible destruction. And it was one of the most deadliest maritime, as it's really deadliest maritime. And 82 feet length, I already stated you, it's 82 feet length. And we can give the capacity of it, it is. And in a best example, that is, it carries 20 horses required to carry the main anchor. So we can say that how large and what's the capacity of Titanic. It requires 600 tons daily of coal. So it is taken by 176 members to carry the coal and to run the ship. And going to the next slide. Here the destruction during the construction. It created a destruction, deadly destruction, that it was injured when the construction is happening. The ship was fell down suddenly, and this made destruction. Here in the bottom, you can see that how the people just dead. And here it gives you that 146 members were totally injured and 2 members were dead at the spot. So there is a destruction during its construction. And going to the next slide. Here are the passengers who traveled in the Titanic. And going to the first thing, there are 2,566 were sold in total, the tickets. And going to the first class, here also the classes were divided, like in trains. First class 1034, second class 510 members, and third class 1022 members. As we are people, we used to travel without tickets also. So some of the members travel without tickets, they are 2200 members. That's the funniest thing. And going to the next slide, this is the icebergs of 1000 BCE. That means it's the iceberg which is of 100 feet, just 100 feet high, but it gave a very deadly destruction for the Titanic. And it traveled from the Greenland of glacier. That's about the iceberg. And going to the next slide. It is about Titanic sinks in real time. Some of them knows in Titanic just in movies, not more than. Is it real or is it a fake story? Some of them have a question in their minds. But exactly, it sinks in the real time. Do you know what happened to the Titanic? Why sinks in real time? An iceberg of 100 feet, it just hit it happens in a 37 grams of time. 37 seconds is just hit the Titanic. That's enough for the sinking of Titanic. So it is a deadly disease. Next, here we can see the collision peaks, how the Titanic is going to sink. And first peak is give you how the half part of Titanic sank. And the second peak is that how it is, the second peak gives you the time graph like how it's sinking by time. And the third one is that we can watch it in movies. And fourth one is how the people are going to save themselves and other people. And going to that next slide, survivors. After this incident happened, how many people survived? Only 7 people managed to get on the boats and survive. We can see that how disaster it was. The people who did manage to get on board were picked up by the closest ship, Partia. It's a closest ship which was traveling in the port and which is traveling in the Atlantic. They captured all, and 2 dogs were saved from the Titanic. They are traveling while the dogs are traveling. There are 16 dogs, but only 2 dogs were saved. So pet life is also disaster. And another important thing is there is another Titanic named as Olympic. I think it's a fake or real, I don't know. But now it's going to given. Now investigations are going on. Is it true or false? But the constructor of Titanic at first he constructed the Olympic at first, and for the insurance of Titanic he claimed the destruction and made him to construct again the Titanic. So this is a fact. It is going to be investigations. So going to the next slide. Some most about facts about Titanic. Some other facts about Titanic I want to say that. Here in the last pic we can see that here in this pic there are 1, 2, 3, 4 towers or smoke towers we can see that. In the 4 smoke towers there are 3 are only working and another 5 is for beauty of the ship. So next, going to the next, there are 1500 to 1800 people were dead in that. And the Times of Atlantic posted a 72 pages of book on this after the destruction. So we can say that how much destruction was created by the Titanic. And going to that, before the Titanic incident happened, a writer wrote a book on it before the construction of it. That's nothing but William P. Stead wrote a book on Titanic. That how the Titanic, it is a real story. No, it's not a real story. It's a fake story. But before its construction, he wrote the book. So there are something like that. And my next slide is a movie on Titanic. We are really interested in watching the movie Titanic because they are really a romantic movie and so nice movie. And for this, James Cameron got 11 Oscar awards at the time, and this movie collected $2 billion of money. So wonderful movie about Titanic. And my next slide is the conclusion. Finally, want to give the list. The constructor of the Titanic says that I created a wonderful monument in the life history. Nobody can disrupt it, but it was disrupted. So I want to say that to say a ship was unsinkable, was flying in the face of God, if you never thank God after every smile, then you have no right to blame Him after every day. And next, thank you guys. Any queries?